First of all, appreciate everybody coming out and covering us. Got to give Ohio State, the crowd, the environment, stadium, Coach Meyer and his team credit. Obviously, very, very good football team and tough place to come and get a win. The margin of error is very small. When you play these types of games, I thought the block punt was a huge play in the game. And it really just came down to, I got to watch the tape, but I really think it just came down to, as the game went on, our splits got tighter and tighter, and it created a short edge. And part of your protection is your spacing, and we got too tight, and they run well enough to take advantage of it. So thought that was big. I don't think we've handled sudden change really well this year defensively. If the offense turns the ball over or something, like the block punt, our defense, has not handled sudden change. That's an area that we got to get better, and I got to take a hard look at that and see if there's an area that we can improve there. 4-minute offense is something that hurt us last year and hurt us again. And I thought we changed our identity. We tried to run the ball, and it's easy for me to say this right now, guys, but as the play caller, we're not protecting well. And we're not running the ball, so it's easy to sit here and say after the fact that we need to be better in that situation. But I think as the game went on, their offensive line was able to protect their quarterback, and he stood in the pocket very comfortable. And when you got a quarterback who's played that much football, and you stand in the pocket with the athleticism and speed that they have at wide receiver, it's going to cause for a long day. And then same thing with their defensive line. Their defensive line, as the game went on, we had a hard time with those guys. So obviously very disappointed for the guys in the locker room. We still got a lot of football ahead of us. As we saw how everything played out last year, this is a crazy game with a lot of different storylines, and more than anything, I'm hurting for those kids in that locker room, but we didn't finish. We had an opportunity. I thought we played good, but obviously not good enough. So hurting for those guys in the locker room and the coaches and the Penn State fans all over the country, because I know people are hurting right now. So all I can tell you is we're going to stay positive. As you guys know, we're going to get back to work. We just lost to a very good football team on the road in a tough environment. Open up the questions.
James,
can I have a water or something, please?
James, why do you think you were unable to get Barry, especially in the second?
Because they're good. They're good. They have good players. We have good players.
James, could you talk about the sequence where you went down, you got the field goal to go up 2 scores? Did you think that would be enough at that point?
Well, I thought that was a big drive. I thought that was a big drive. Mike made a big play on the sideline. And I thought that gave us a chance. That widened the gap, made it a two-score game again. And but they were gaining momentum, especially offensively, and we just had a hard time, slowing them down. I think the biggest issue was that someone's getting a call here. It's your mom. Someone calling. I think the momentum was getting to the point where we had a hard time slowing them down. And once again, when their offensive line is able to protect like that, I thought we did a pretty good job against them in the running game. But when your quarterback's able to stand back in the pocket that comfortable, and they just got momentum, and they got a bunch of players that can make plays in space, and you can't cover those type of athletes that long. You got to get to the quarterback.
Coach, you think
special teams, the block punt? Can you talk about the role that special teams played in the whole game with Saquon running it back and then Dakota Farmers and short drives? Just how big of an impact special teams in general was?
Special teams was the story of the game for us. Because you look at the yards didn't make any sense. Well, we had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and then we had another kickoff return for a huge play. So the stats kind of didn't really tell the story. Even when you looked at time of possession, for most of the game, it was pretty balanced. So yeah, special teams, played a huge part. But once again, Block punts. You look statistically, if you get a punt blocked against you, you're going to have a hard time being successful. It's kind of like turnovers.
A lot of
What
snaps,
did you see
James.
Ohio State
You had
do?
the defense had to go through a lot of snaps at a high pace. Did you think they got worn out at the end of the game because of that?
Well, yeah, I think it's a combination of both. Our offense has got to sustain drives longer, but our defense needs to create 3 and outs and get off the field by creating turnovers or 3 and outs. It's kind of a combination of both those things. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Can you talk about the last touchdown that Ohio State scored, what you saw on that drive from Ohio State?
Could you be more specific on that drive?
The drive where they scored their last touchdown, it was a pass. Ohio State's last touchdown.
So on the that specific play or on the drive?
As they were
I
coming
can't
up.
talk about the whole drive, sir.
Okay.
I don't have that type of memory to talk about a whole drive. I apologize.
Cool.
James, what did you see their defense do specifically to try to take out Saquon from this game? Anything different from what they had shown
No,
before?
it's very similar to what we've been seeing all year long, but they're doing it with really good athletes. They're extremely explosive, extremely athletic, and a lot of similar schemes that we've been seeing all year long.
Coach, you said earlier in the week that JT Barrett was playing as well as you've ever seen. What was the biggest change you saw in him versus, last year when you guys played them at home?
Well, what I saw tonight is, you got a veteran quarterback who's being protected extremely well, and they got really good skill players. So to me tonight, that was the biggest difference. We're usually able to get to quarterbacks either through just pass rush or through blitz. And we weren't able to do that tonight. And again, when you got a quarterback who's been starting for as long as he has, and you look at his numbers and his statistics, he's a damn good quarterback. And we weren't able to make him uncomfortable in the pocket tonight at all.
James, how much was that challenge kind of magnified without Buchholz out there from early on?
Yeah, we lost a number of guys tonight that are good players for us, and they either came out or were limited and tried to go back in and weren't able to get it done. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. We got better depth than we've had, but obviously when you're playing that type of opponent, you don't have your starters on the field and you're down a few more guys. It's magnified.
How did you feel your offensive line played? And did Ohio State do anything differently with its rush that maybe you weren't expecting at all?
Yeah, no, obviously not good enough. We didn't play good enough at a lot of positions. I didn't manage the game well enough. We didn't call the game good enough. There's enough blame to be spread all around here. The reality is we didn't win the game against a really good opponent on the road, and we got to learn from this and get better.
James, your last 2 losses, you're up 14 and 15 points in the fourth quarter. Is there similarities in between what went wrong in both those games, or is that just how it went?
Yeah, I think for us, we're not able to consistently run the ball at the end of games to finish the game with a 4-minute mentality. And obviously we're playing really good teams with really good talent, really good coaches, and those types of things. So we just got to keep chipping away to close the gap on these types of opponents in really every single area. But I don't think there's any doubt if you can run the ball more consistently, especially in 4-minute situations where you have a lead and you're trying to run the clock out, or don't even think like that and stay with your mentality. But again, it's hard to say that tonight when, we weren't able to protect or consistently run the ball down the stretch.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.